Joining me on the show today is one half of the CFFC 130 main event, and on March 8th, he'll be stepping in the cage against the Immortal Lotus when he challenges for the CFFC flyweight championship. He is Huracan Israel Galvan. How's it going today, Israel?
It's going good. Doing great. Just got a nice massage right now and resting. So
nice. I know I fucked up the nickname because I tried doing it the proper way. I didn't want to go total white boy and say El Hurricane.
it's okay.
I tried and I fucked that up at the end, but we're good. So you made your CFFC debut against a highly talented prospect in Max Canonas back at CFFC 123. I was front row, and you blew me away because I came in. I was wearing the Candyman shirt and everything. I was full fanboy, and you fucked my boy up. Fucked him up pretty good. So you end up being by unanimous decision. Was there anything in the fight that surprised you?
I'm surprised I didn't get a 10-8 round. Not even one from one judge. Damn, bro, that's crazy, man. That's insane. But like they say, don't leave it in the hands of the judges. But Quinones is a tough guy, and he's young, so he still has a lot of shelf life. But I think I knocked down at least half of it. We'll see how he fights when he comes back. He probably ain't going to be the same from the beating I gave him. I heard he said, the hardest thing I hit him was my elbow that cut him up. And that's not true. He knows that. I know that it's not true. Like I felt my knuckles through the gloves and through the gauze, landing on his head. So we'll see if he's the same. He might not be the same.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how he does rebound because, that gash was huge. You dominated for 15 minutes. Yeah. So, I'm curious there. He's back on the card with you as well, which is going to be pretty fun. The next night after, CFFC, I was actually in person, and I actually heard this fight projected to him. So we're talking about back in September. But you're finally now, after all these delays, you're finally about to get in the cage with Immortal Lotus, Badmatsyren Dorzhiev for the title itself. With all the delays, was anything ever on your end, or was it solely on the champ's end?
It was all on him. They told him, and he was trying to find a different fight, trying to get find an easier fight. That in all honesty, all cards on the table, he wanted an easier fight. I'm pretty sure, because this is a UFC fight, in my opinion. This fight could be, maybe not headlining or anything as a main event, but this is a really good fight for both of us. What other 125ers fighting 8-0 guys outside of the UFC? Like nobody. My last 3 opponents had 0 losses. So that's I want to fight the best out there, and I plan to be the best out there in the world. So I deserve, after this fight, I deserve to be in the UFC. Like, there's no questions asked. You can't deny me after this fight, after I kill this guy, after I make him look like a bum. It's that call. I'm like, where you at, Dana? Give me that call, dog.
And I'll add on to that, because you said the last 3 opponents you faced. We're not even counting the opponents who didn't make it to the cage.
Right.
You had Mitch Raposa, who was I think he's number 5 or 6 on the UFC prospect list right now on Fight Pass.
Yeah.
He didn't make it to the fight. A few others on there. Even in your second fight as a whole was against a guy who just challenged for a title just a few months ago as well. So even your resume speaks that you're not afraid to fight. Even everyone expects the first couple of fights to be against an 0-1 or a 1-0 guy. I think you had one of those, and that was your debut.
Yeah, my debut. Yeah.
So, speaking of resumes and all that, ahead of your Max Canonas fight, you kind of mentioned to him that his resume wasn't all that everyone else making it to be. I think you even said that he fought all cans.
Yeah.
Looking at Lotus's record of 8-0, I have my opinions, but I want to see what your opinions are on the 8 people he fought, because I think one stands out. But I'm curious, was anyone on his resume not a can or anything on your end?
Actually, I haven't really paid attention to his his record yet. Besides the 8-0, I haven't took a deep dive into his opponents, because I'm very focused on this fight. I'm always focused in all my fights, but this guy, I'm just, I'm happy, man. I'm excited, like, I'm just so super excited. And this is the only interview I'm giving because when I give interviews, dudes tend to pull out, so if this guy pulls out because of this interview, I'm coming for you. I'm joking. No, but he, I don't know, man. I think he still wants easy fights. Like I said, dude, he wants easy fights. He takes easy fights, and that's okay. It's like you're gonna find out one day or another. You're gonna find out that all those guys you beat up, it worked against you. Like you should have had wars when, and instead you wanted to have like patty cake fist fights and stuff like that. It's like you're gonna have a war. You have a war on your hands now, and you're in trouble, bro. He's in trouble.
Now, if he pulls out of this one, this fight needs to be for, we can call it an interim title or whatever, but I mean, he's won this one in September. He's won his other title like this time last year and has been just holding both up. I even went as far as to say that they're defending the interim title from his first belt. Let's make that unified at this point. The guy's not going back.
Yeah.
But looking at his record, like I said, there's one thing that stood out to me, and you kind of had a little beef with this guy, and that's a Shamel Findley. I know you guys had a little back and forth back at B2, but then even the past couple of weeks, it started sparking up again. What do you think about Shamel Findley?
I don't know. He's just another bum, like he already fought for the title and he couldn't, I don't think he even won a round against this guy. So, he's trying to call me out. Yeah, but he ran for me, he's ran for me like twice in B2 series. There was I forgot what it was called, but it was like a tournament and they brought my name up to like, all right, the next guy you're supposed to fight is this guy. And he's like, oh, I don't know who that is. Like acting like he don't know me and he's never seen me. He's like, yeah, you've seen me, bro. Like you said, you've seen when people bring up my name, when promoters bring up my name to the opponent, to the fighter, that's when all the pressure hits them and they're like, oh, like, damn, like do you really want to be truthful with the promoter and tell him, no, I don't want to fight that guy, like I'm running from him? Or are you just gonna make up something like, oh, I don't know who he is, or we'll talk about it with my coaches and my manager and whatever it is. But he's just a funny guy, like like I don't even respect him, but it's cool what he's trying to do. Like a lot of opponents try to message me on Instagram or try to call me out on Instagram, and it's like, bro, I'm not in high school anymore. You can't like, what is this, bro? Like these are games we're playing right here. Like this is a game to me. Like I like to have fun with it. It's like, I'm not in high school. You can't entice me to get into in a fight like that. What I'm saying? Like I'm about my career. I put my career first. It's like if I'm gonna fight you, it doesn't make sense to fight you. It's like you just lost to the champion. What I'm saying? It doesn't make sense to backstep, to fight certain people. It's like, look, I'm looking ahead of you. And so that's, in my opinion, that's like disrespecting them in to their face, like I'm being so disrespectful. Like I'm respectful to everybody, but it's like, you should take that to heart, to the face, bro. Like I don't, you're not even in my league, like you don't deserve a fight with me. Like I like to fight for titles. How many, I have two signed title fights that never didn't happen. This is my third one. It's like, I'm not gonna fight you, bro. Like I'm looking ahead. I'm looking to break the top 10 in the UFC this year or next year. Like when my first fight in the UFC after I beat this guy, I want a top 15. I want an undefeated guy again. Like, give me those undefeated guys that everyone doesn't want to fight. That's who I really want.
That makes sense because I mean, you're at the right age. I don't have the stat in front of me anymore because I did it for like an interview like 6 interviews ago.
Yeah.
But you're at that age where like everyone in the flyweight division is your age or a year older.
Yeah.
So you're coming at the right time because you figure you win here in March. I hate to say it, but the way that the UFC works now, it probably means a contender series fight instead of the call-in. But the contender series now is just a short list.
Yeah.
When a flyweight drops out, that means they go to the contender series list and say, all right, you're in.
Yeah.
So it's still kind of like you're probably getting a call in, but it's just aim at the contender series for the time being. And you get there, so by this time next year, you're at the age that everyone else is in the top 15, for example.
Yeah.
And those who are there now are now going to age out, which is weird saying. Like, it's weird thing about the sport is like 2 years difference is like aging out at this point. As far as you go, I mean, as a flyweight though, like, I'm assuming it is UFC or bust because PFL doesn't really have a flyweight and there's no more Bellator. But was one ever an option for you?
Yes and no. Like I've, I'd fight anywhere, but like I really want to be in the UFC, like that's, when I graduated 5th grade, I was like, they say, hey, say what you want to be when you grow up, and I wasn't even training or nothing. I was like, I want to be a UFC fighter, So since then, I've been saying I want to be a UFC fighter, and so, after this, man, they just signed another freaking 8-0 Mongolian the other day. So once I beat this guy, it's like I just beat a dude that should be in the UFC, So I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna call out that guy. I'm gonna be like, give me that guy. I'm like, I just beat his his brother, probably, I don't know, or his relative. I'm like, give me that dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'll take him out too. So it's just, I don't know. I think the UFC they're really gonna want me after they see my performance. After I gotta say what I gotta say on the microphone, they're gonna be like, "Look, we can turn this guy could be a superstar. He says good things, and we like his character or whatever it is that they see in me or on me or whatever." But I hope they're gonna see the blood on me, bro. They're gonna see this kid's blood on me, and it's gonna be it's gonna be a war, Hopefully, it's a fast night, for him. Hopefully he doesn't, have to go through what Quinones went through. But if I have to do that to him, if he goes through it and if he has a tough chin, when he doesn't have a tough chin though, actually, thinking about it, he gets rocked. He got rocked in his last fight by Findley. I'm like, and I punched harder than Findley for sure. So I'm gonna put this guy on skates, and I think I'm gonna get him out quick. I truly believe I'm gonna finish him.
You threw some bad juju at me saying that when you do an interview, the guy pulls out. So I'm gonna feel a little better asking this one just in case. If he pulls out, would you fight somebody like a Phumi Nkuta, who's like another high level name who just never got the call?
What promotion he fights in?
So he's been with CFFC. He was a former champion there. He just came back in, I think it was December of last year. I just pulled the poster down, or could have cheated by looking at it. I think he's like 6-0, 7-0. He just never got the call. But if you ask him and you ask pretty much anyone in the Northeast, he's the best flyweight in the world. Okay. And that's who I thought they were going to give Lotus at first, because before you did what you did.
Yeah.
Again, better with Max, it kind of hurt a little bit. I kind of thought that was going to be the matchup, like him versus Phumi. And I'm just looking at it like, if that happened, are you against like just facing anyone?
I mean, why do you think that guy isn't fighting for the title? You think he said, no, I don't want to fight that guy? So you got to think about it. It's like, why hasn't he been calling him out? Why hasn't he been trying to make that fight happen? Dudes are trying to pad their records. Dudes are trying to protect their O. And so would I fight him? I could fight. I could fight anybody, like I'm not going to say I won't fight someone, like, for the right, if it's for a belt, like, yeah, of course, but if it's just like another fight, it's like, I'd be upset, because it's like, dude, this is my 3rd title fight signed, and this guy pulls out, and I don't think he's going to pull out, I think he's going to show up because he probably saw his boy get signed, like the guy I was speaking about earlier. he probably saw him get signed and was upset and it's like, damn, this dude got signed. He's like, yeah, the UFC don't want you, bro. You know, so he's like, you got to do something, like, you know, but, you know, so I'll fight for gold, man. I'll fight anybody for gold.
And then let's bring it back to the start now. You said you, in 5th grade, you wanted to be a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
That also hurts a little bit. Makes the back hurt a little bit. I think I was watching UFC in like high school.
Yeah.
That was like when it was like Ken Shamrock still. Yeah. Thanks for the 5th grade acknowledgement for watching it. What got you in? When did you actually start training?
Well, man, I was training. Some of my earliest memories were training in a boxing gym when I was like, you know, under 10, under 8 or something like that. I was training in a boxing gym and I was really good. And the coaches saw that, and, they told my father, and, he's really good. He keeps doing this, he can make a far, blah, blah, blah. And my father didn't want me to be a fighter, so he pulled me away from that and I started doing other sports. I tried every sport. Like I've done swimming, football, soccer, you know, so I've been doing a bunch of other sports out that are not combat related. And then my older brother started doing, Muay Thai. And then after my soccer season ended, I just kept seeing him go and come back and he was having a good time. I was like, hey, I want to try that. When I was like, I think I was 13, 14 maybe. And then I started doing that and I did that for a year and then I stopped again all the way up until high school. I was in high school and I did football and then I stopped doing football and I was like, I was just thinking, as you get older, you're like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do? Like to, for your life and in your life, for your career, like what's a career path that you want to take? And I found out this other high school had wrestling. And I was like, what? I was like, dude, I'm going to wrestle, So I transferred schools. I said bye to all my friends. I was like, I don't need friends, I'm like, I'm going to go chase my purpose. Like, I know I'm made for this and I know I can do it, So I want to go and chase my, my dream's not wrestling, but like to wrestle, but my dream is to be the best in the world. And I know wrestling is was going to help me and like help me in so many ways. So I started wrestling and then from wrestling, it just, I haven't stopped since after high school wrestling.
And if anyone watched you at CFFC 123, the wrestling was on point. That combined with the boxing, basically, that explains a lot. And then, you grew up in Nebraska or born in Nebraska, and then you mentioned that you lived in Texas. What brought you to CFFC versus like a Fury or an LFA?
Well, I fought for LFA, but I don't know. I like CFFC. Fury's okay. They offered me a multi-fight contract deal, and I don't know. I fought so many places. I fought around the world. I fought for like around 4 different continents. So I don't really care what promotion I fight for, if it, other than the UFC, like, it's like, I just, like I just look for the best. I have the best management, H&K Fight Management. They gave me the best fights that are going to take my career to the next level, that are going to push me forward. And I'm not going to just stay where I'm at. Like if I fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what a lot of guys are doing. They're just fighting guys that are going to keep them where they're at. It's like, I'm fighting guys that are going to take me to the next level, to the next opportunity, to a better opportunity, to a title fight, So those are the kind of fights I'm looking for. And I guess CFFC has them,
And then let's talk about your management as well. Because that's one thing that stood out to me. Am I right? Is Jasu? First of all, am I saying his name right?
No, it's Josue.
I was way off. Total white boy shit on that one.
Yeah.
Is that your uncle?
No, that's my father.
Yeah. So that makes it even better then too, because when you see like family managing fighters, you usually don't get real matchups. They're trying to kind of make sure you win, and he's throwing you at the wolves left and right. So speak about him and how, especially since you said that he kind of talked you or pushed you away from boxing. Like, how did that all come about when you actually are now a pro fighter?
He saw, he saw where I was heading one point in my life, and he didn't want me to go that way, so he's like, you know what, I can't, like, you're gonna be your own man. You're gonna grow up. You gotta choose what you want to do, and so instead of going the wrong way, I started going a better way, the way that I chose, that's like better for my life, so I started fighting, and or like that's the career path I chose was fighting. So he's like, all right, he went 100% in, he really supports me, and we talk a lot about about fighting, about fighters, about my career, about philosophies in MMA. And like, one of them is like, dude, if you fight bums, and if I started my career fighting bums till I was 10 and 0, 10 and 0, 11 and 0, and I made it to the UFC, like, that's when, like, you're gonna get exposed. You're gonna be so used to fighting a guy that can't knock you out, and then you meet a guy that can, and he hits you once or twice and you're out. That happens a lot. The MMA community is used to seeing things like that happen. So we believe that every fight, that it should be an even fight. It should be at least an even fight. You shouldn't be fighting dudes that don't have business being in there with you. And so, those are the fights I take. The fights that are like even. Or like fights that aren't that are gonna test you. You got to be tested in most of your fights.
I won't say what he said about this fight because that will probably make Lotus pull out. So he's been telling me since basically like October, November how this fight is going.
Yeah.
So it's now so that we're just now waiting for it to actually happen. We're about a month away. Who are you training with here? Because on Tapology, I think it has you as at Rogue, and the only person that fights there is you.
Is me. Yeah. Rogue BJJ Studios. I train my jiu-jitsu there. It's the head coach, my jiu-jitsu coach, Kyle Pate. He's very understanding. He lets me train wherever I want, because I'm the only fighter there. But I train a bunch of other places, but I call that my home gym right there, is here in Texas. Rogue BJJ with Kyle Pate, and then I train. My wrestling coach is Billy Biggs. He's in Vegas, so I go over there. I'm gonna go to Vegas this week, this Sunday. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna go train for a week, and then my striking coach is here in Texas at Louisville boxing team. His name's Jamal Lawson, and then I have another striking coach in Vegas at Team Syndicate. His name's Danny Garcia, and then I just met a really cool guy, he's really solid. He's another professional MMA fighter in Austin, Texas. His name's RJ Casper. I'm not sure if he's fought for you guys for CFFC before. I think he's fought for Fury though, for sure, here in Texas. So he's another he holds pads for me. We spar, but he's like really good at holding pads, like for the MMA style, the MMA with kicks and elbows and everything. So right now I'm training that with him, but I go everywhere to train. Like I'm going to Syndicate to train. So like what I tell people, what I tell coaches is that this game is very, very, very serious to begin with first, but also you as a fighter have to be selfish, because no one else is gonna bleed with you. No one else is gonna be different or can be different after a fight. It's like, dude, this is my life, man. Like I could probably die in there. I could I could be different, tomorrow, after the fight I could be different. So I um I take it very seriously, and it's like, dude, I'm gonna do what's best for me, for what's best for my career. And yeah, like I take it very serious.
March 8th, you finally get to fight the Immortal Lotus. Prove that he's not immortal. Prove that he's a man. How do you see this fight going? Let's not try to have it talk him out of the fight, but how do you see this fight going?
I'm gonna finish him. It's gonna be, I don't know how many rounds it's gonna take. But I truly believe I'm gonna finish him. He's been rocked before. I've never been rocked. I've never been on skates. I've never been knocked down. I've never been submitted. I've never been finished. So there's no way he's taking me out. There's like I don't even know when the last time he finished someone. But he's gonna be in for a long night, or hopefully a fast night for him, like for his for his safety. Hopefully it's fast. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna, I don't know. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to give away my game plan, but I'm gonna try to break this guy. I'm gonna drown this dude, and he's gonna, he's gonna be, and I'm gonna be the new double champ. I'm gonna take. He has 2 belts right now. I'm gonna have 2 belts too. So, and I hope Anthony Pettis is right there watching too. So I'm gonna be like, hey, I got your belt, dog. That's what I'm gonna tell him. I got 2 belts. I don't got one. I got 2. So yeah.
One question I've been starting to ask everyone, and it's been really hammering home, like why people should care about these fights.
Yeah.
March 8th. Why should someone take part of their Friday night, because it's a Friday card, and tune in to the CFFC 130 to watch not only the whole card, but more specifically your fight?
Go just look at some of my highlights. Look at my last fight. I saw, blood splatter. They had to mop the cage. They had to mop the canvas for my fight after every round, because dudes were slipping in there. Like I was slipping in there from all that dude's blood. So, you're gonna get what you pay for when you watch me. No one's tuning into this fight to watch the champion. No one's tuning in to watch that dude. They're tuning in to watch me. They're tuning in to watch, the wars that I put on, the fights that I put on, the blood that I make my opponents bleed. That's what they're truly tuning in to watch. They're gonna see, they're just gonna get what they paid for. They're gonna get a beating. Like if there wasn't a ref in there, I'd kill the guy. The ref's in there to freaking protect the fighters, but hopefully one day there's no referee. I was joking.
A little Sean Strickland there for a little bit. But at this point, I'm gonna pass the mic to you. Obviously, there's people helping you.
Yeah.
It's not just your dad. It's not just your coaches and your teammates. It's the sponsors and everyone who helps make it just a little bit easier when you have to get ready for the cage. I'm gonna pass the mic to you to give everyone a shout out. Mike's all yours.
Hey, I want to thank H&K Fight Management, the best management out there. They already got me 3 title fights. This is the 3rd title fight, but they already got me 3. So you need, you're looking for a fight. You need a fight. It's easy. A lot of people tell me, oh, all these dudes pulling out on me, I can't find a fight. I'm like, that's not true, dude. You're just looking in your backyard. That's why you can't find a fight. Like I'm an international fighter, 4 different continents. I don't even know how many more states, but there's a fight out there. If you don't think there's a fight out there for you, there's a fight, 100%. So hit up H&K Fight Management to get you that fight, to get you good fights, to get you a right fight, to get you probably a title fight. Who knows? But I also want to thank Next Level Physical Therapy in California. I want to thank Dr. Landon at Ariosity Rehab here in Texas. I want to thank Chow Beef Jerky in Nebraska. I want to thank the Joint Chiropractic. It's nationwide, so there's probably one blocks away from where you're at now. I want to thank Jay Lucas Nutrition on Instagram. He got me right. He got all my he got me looking like a different animal, you know what I'm saying? But I'm natty. I'm natty, bro. I'm all natural. I'll pass a piss test any day of the week. You could wake me up at 2 a.m. I'm gonna pass that test. I ain't gonna be hiding under a cage. You're like, you know, you know what I'm saying? But I want to also thank the Union Designs. He's sponsoring my walkout gear. So thank you to him. I want to thank my newest sponsor, Healthy Hydration. They have H2O water. So, you know, with this, there's so many benefits. I don't even remember them, to be honest, but there's so many benefits. Just look it up. You'll be different, you know, better for your life, better for your health. It's a game changer. It changed my game 100%. I remember the first day I took it, and I won't say much about it. I'm sad I have to share that secret with people, but they sponsored me, and it you know, in a big way. So, you know, shout out to them. Healthy hydration.
Yeah, it's great to hear because, like, you know, it's so things, especially the water thing. It's always weird because, like, I saw you post about that, and I was like, I don't know the hell it is.
Yeah.
I pulled my water. I was like, what's the difference? But looked in the website, and there's a lot of difference. So,
Yeah.
and I didn't think John Jones would get a stray bullet on this one, but that also happens as well.
Me.
So, UFC 130, March 8th. Obviously, main event. So it's on Fight Pass, not OnlyFans. Main event. You know, we're gonna actually have an opponent that shows up. I'll do it for you. And you know, best of skill. We'll see how after this one. You know, this is the last one on the regional scene. Let's just be honest. So look forward to seeing where your career goes. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.